Hello. Last time our guest was on Our Time, he turned the tables on me for my 500th episode, but not this time. Hello, Albert Jamae.
Hello, Malcolm.
I'm so pleased you came back, but you said you would.
I did promise at some point, yep.
Now, apart from your work at Channel 44 here in Adelaide, which we'll talk about later,
yeah.
You know, as we go through life, we discover things from the past we didn't even know we had.
No, skeletons sometimes.
And while I've been dubbing over a whole lot of my past from DVDs and videos to file, I found this clip. Have a look.
Dear.
It's right up close.
It's you.
What?
I want his eyes.
What am I doing?
Such an actor.
What is the panda look? Oh no, that was the Papa Bear.
Yes, Father Bear
Oh,
in Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now, what you can hear is, it's actually me singing on stage as Mrs. Talkalot, and you and Stephen Kauna are sending it up.
we were mocking you. I do remember this.
Mocking is probably the best way to describe it.
Well, you're easy to mock, Malcolm.
Oh, hardly.
Oh dear, the things we do for a crust.
It's the things in a dressing room that people never see that goes on during a show that you'd never know was going on backstage.
Wow.
And we obviously had a makeup lady who was looking after you at the time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of makeup, but I remember that, I couldn't do my own makeup sometimes because I was struggling seeing at a young age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to get glasses, and that's when I found out that I needed glasses because I couldn't do makeup. I'm thinking, why are my lines blurry on my eyes? And I realised my eyesight was going.
Gee, that's interesting you say that, because people like Rachel Learcar, who's been on the show several times, and her eyesight is sort of, all she can see is a little bit like that in front of her. And you think, how on earth does she make herself up?
Yeah.
She's got a great mum.
There you go.
Did you have a great mum to
I
teach
did.
you how to
I did.
film?
She's the one that got me into theatre, so it was her fault.
So, Albert, when did you start performing? I should just explain, sorry, that was in a panto, that clip was in a panto that we did together.
We did, and then, yes, you made me learn how to juggle clubs.
Yes.
You said, okay, can you do this? I think I had to ride a tricycle, I can't remember.
You did, a unicycle.
A unicycle, and juggle clubs, I think all at the same time.
And with mittens on your hands.
And with mittens, and I couldn't quite see, it was like, but
and then you became a show boy, but we're going to have a look at some of those pictures as we go.
It was Mum that got me into theatre at 8. And, there we go. Okay, this is high school. So, Mum got me into, when I was about 8 or 10, did some local at the Portlangar Arts Theatre.
Right.
And then when I hit high school, I auditioned, I think it was in year 11. I got, not bullied, but my friend said, you got to audition, because I had no interest in, I'd left it when I was younger, and I got the lead role of Superman. It was like, when you're 16 and in tights, it's not that flattering. But having said that, I was a really shy kid.
Well, you weren't wearing tights.
Oh, no. Oh, Maslin's Beach. Okay. So we're moving on to that one. That was, I was the only one who couldn't be naked in that one.
Because you were working on Here's Humphrey.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
But that was such a controversial film. Here's some show business shots from when you started.
So then I got into local musical theatre, and this was half a sixpence at the old Mayfair Theatre Company. That was my first big lead role, and I still love the music to this day.
Half a sixpence is better than half a penny.
Better than half a farthing.
That's right. An encore 19 years later.
And this was, what you got me into, the old King's Music Hall.
I did.
And that was that Gordon behind the woman on the beach
Gordon
there.
Paul,
I just realised that one. And that was the poster for that, with you
were the
obviously as the villain.
Yes, I'm in the middle being villainous.
We did have a fight on stage.
Yeah, we did.
And
you won, by the way.
I did, of course. Although you had a strategically placed cane that you hit me with at times. Okay, so my acting just went on from all sorts of things. You know what it's like. You had to just make a living doing anything.
Was that Gallipoli? The film?
That was Deadline Gallipoli.
Yep.
And I got to, there we go.
I love the moustache.
Yeah. Deadline Gallipoli was, that TV series. And my got my boys into it as well as extras. So
Right.
that was
was
fun.
shot down where you live, wasn't it?
Yeah, down McLaren Vale and on Maslin's Beach. Believe it or not, I was back in Maslin's Beach again.
Fully clothed.
Yeah, fully clothed. This is from Pine Gap, I believe it was, and they said, "Oh, can we put a moustache on you?" And yeah.
That's not a real one?
No, I can't grow a moustache.
Oh, okay.
They're too itchy. Yeah. Oh, one of my favourite gigs that you actually helped me get because you were my agent at the time. And it was, I did 3 years of Humphrey and the outside gigs. I believe that was at the train station, the museum, Port Adelaide?
Yeah, the Port Adelaide Train Museum.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
That was
actually, what weren't they wonderful years though?
Oh, you know what was great about that was I was in the time I got there, and like those outside appearances was where you really got to see the kids and have fun, and people loved it. They were just
Although
so
they're
much
all
fun.
terrified of the bear
And some of
because
them
he
were
was
crying.
so big.
Some of them were crying.
They expected him to be the size he was
exactly.
inside the TV.
Exactly.
I don't know what that said about you inside the TV.
No, that's it. It's like I was enormous. But but what I loved about Humphrey then is that I still got to do the last year or so when we still had live music.
Yep.
Inside the studio.
Yep.
After that, they went to pre-recorded music because they were competing with High Five and that. But I remember Glennis, that was her name, and she just made up stuff as we were trotting around stage.
Yes.
She would just make up music on the spot.
I had the same with Phil Caneen.
Yeah, and that was the beauty of it. Yeah. And I always missed it when they took that away.
Well, it was very much like live television, even though it was pre-recorded. It was very much like live.
Yeah.
We just saw a clip there, or a photo there of you as Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, so I had to do that for a couple of years. And that goes back to my thing about not enjoying makeup, because I had to do my own makeup.
Oh, well, very difficult, that white grease
That
paint.
was that was like an hour, I think
Murderous.
about an hour and a half or 2 hours it took me, and then I got down to 45 minutes.
Yep.
And they had flew me to state to get training in that. It was a big deal.
People don't realise, you know, what's involved in doing these characters. You know, if you're not in a suit and sweating, you've got makeup on that's so heavy that you don't sweat.
And my skin was really getting affected, and I had to give it up for that reason.
Now look at you playing keyboard, because this is when I first met you. You were playing piano.
I was playing piano from a young age. I did. This is when I know at this point my second son was born, so I was kind of not doing a lot in the industry because it was changing, and I was bringing up kids and making money just teaching singing on the side, and I don't know why it ended up in the newspaper, but so that's
why local press is so valuable.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you here with a hairy chest.
Good old Freddie Mercury. There was a story behind this one. So down in Wollonga, they have a thing called Cinema Lunga, and they put on a movie, and everyone in the town gets together and dresses up. There's hundreds of people in the big stadium. And they asked me and a music friend of mine, we want to do something, because I was showing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
So I come up with this idea. I said, well, look, I teach myself, I play Bohemian Rhapsody on the keyboard. I brought my keyboard and I taught myself how to play it. And a mate, we had a choir of 30 or end up being 40 people, local people that didn't know how to sing, that they were the backing, and they were all dressed as Freddie. And we performed Bohemian Rhapsody. I did a bit of a comedy thing in between it as well with them. It was the best time. It was really great.
Aren't those memories wonderful to have?
Yeah.
So you're singing with a band here?
Yeah, I did some band work as well, which was really cathartic because, you know, apart from, having all that experience of learning lines, Humphrey taught me about that. I had to learn them really quickly.
Lots to learn really quickly.
I could learn lyrics quickly. So our set was like 36 songs.
Yep.
And people go, how do you remember all the songs? I said, because I'd learnt scripts from it all my life. I've always been learning.
And age helps. The younger you are, the quicker it stays.
Yeah.
The quicker it goes in, the
exactly.
longer it stays.
So I love performing in the band scene.
And this is something that you've produced.
Yeah, I got into doco making, so did a few First Nations documentaries for NITV. Mm-hmm. So Big Al's Big Dream was one, and there's beautiful little mini docs stories about just local people, local Adelaide people. So that was one of them. Butterfish Mob was another one about a guy who was reconnecting with his father back in Point Pearce. And this was dot music. This is a Aboriginal woman, the only Aboriginal pianist, I think, concert pianist in Adelaide. Right. And she didn't realise she was Aboriginal until she was 36.
I think a lot of people are discovering they've got that background.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful connection I had with her because I played the piano and B, I had a very similar family story. So that was another beautiful doco I got to make as well.
And what was your similar family story?
Well, finding that my real father, not till I was 21, that was that story, So that was a big shock to me, because it does affect your identity.
I guess it does, yes.
Yeah, as it did with Cheryl in that documentary, big time.
So you've been all these things. You've been obviously a performer, a young performer.
Yep.
You've carried into TV performing.
Yep.
You've done music theatre.
Yep.
You've done film.
Radio.
Oh, radio.
Yeah, did a lot of voiceovers.
You brought
for
up
radios.
three kids.
3 kids, yeah, or 3 adults now.
What are you missing?
What am I missing? I don't know if there's anything I haven't tried.
I can tell you.
Oh dear.
We're missing a commercial break, and we'll be back after this. Our special guest is Albert, who turned the table on me last time he was on the show, and now I'm doing the same. If only we had a table we could turn.
There you go.
So, Albert, you've done all of these things that we just said before the break in your life.
Yep.
Then things changed in your life because suddenly 44 called.
Well,
how did that happen?
Well, it was interesting timing because, it's like over decades. I mean, I've been doing this since, I guess professionally since the early 90s, and a lot changes in the scene, and my focus was on bringing up kids, and we ran a performing arts school for about 15 years down in Wollonga.
Down in Wollonga.
Yeah. So that was a chance to just give back to a community that didn't have anything there. So we taught acting, singing, dance, and did about 60, 70 productions over that period of time.
Yes, I came and saw some.
It was, great. I do remember. But that, so after doing that in the local scene, kids grow up, everyone moved on. I just found myself going, okay, I've done this, I've done that. And I was looking to just...
And you've got all this knowledge.
And I was just looking forward to doing something different. Maybe I could get involved and maybe just have I hadn't had a full-time job since I worked in the bank in 1990.
But also you were sort of working from home because it was in the same town.
Exactly, it was in the same town, and now I was looking to just do something different. And I tried my hand at a few different things, but then this job came up.
Didn't you write a comedy show? Or you were involved with the comedy show?
Oh, wow. As in short films? I did comedy short films.
I remember seeing your name as a scriptwriter or producer.
Yeah, I did script writing. I've written, a few comedy shorts, won comedy awards and for short plays and for radio scripts and also for short films. So did all that freelance, but again, I just was getting a bit tired of it. I'd like to try things new, and then this job came up, and it was just sort of in charge of programming at Channel 44 and operations, and then through that, I was watching people making productions and stuff, and I knew I had the experience, but I was just enjoying the programming side. And then someone was moving on, and they brought me in and said, Lauren, general manager, said, wondering if you'd like to get involved in production. It's like, yes, it's kind of what I love to do. And they knew that anyway, knew my history. So I figured out a way to kind of split the job up and still oversee the programming and operations and then get involved in production. But within that, mentoring a lot of young emerging creators and a lot of university students and interns. And
well, that's a great joy, isn't it?
It is.
Initially, you've got the fire in your belly to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And then it's a great joy to watch others.
It is. You get
so
a big
what
kick.
have you done? Because we've got some more photos here of the different productions you've worked on.
Yeah, okay. So let's throw one up here. So Mob Talks. So that was our First Nations chat show, the first of its kind, really, that we got a grant to create last year. We did 4 episodes of that, and I think we've got a couple more pics there, but I got to help produce that and mentor the upcoming writers, directors, producers. I got to work in the writers' room with them, help design the show, and then we helped them write a grant to get it. Also helped them with the grant to do season 2, which we've already shot half of that as well.
Yep. Here's another shot.
Yeah, that was me talking with Marcellus, who's now working at SBS And
Yes, I just saw him recently and he was telling me that.
amazing, yeah.
Because
Marcellus
he's also, of course, been on the show.
And that one's Keith, one of the directors that I was mentoring through there. Obviously, I'm busy saying something and explaining about, studio
Just a
shoots.
typical performer, using your hands to explain.
I know. And it's not even in focus. It's
Moving too fast for the
moving
focus.
too fast. And that's me and Keith having a laugh on set. Always got to have a laugh on set.
Of course.
I mean, we can't take it too seriously, but,
Well, your joy shows through the screen, I think. And here's the divide.
Oh,
and
the
I'm
divide.
dark on this.
Yeah, but...
Why am I dark on this, Albert?
because you're hidden in the background so much we can't see you. But yeah, this is the launch of The Divide, so I got to help create this chat show between baby boomers and Gen Zs about interesting topics.
Which we did right here.
Which we did right here, and you were involved. Gracefully, you said, yes, of course I'll be involved in that, and it was a lot of fun. Check out the relationships episode, because you're a cracker in that one.
Oh, I actually haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it
No.
yet? Oh, it's been on air a couple of times already.
Okay.
And that's me, obviously, in this very room, giving some directions to someone.
yes.
That was me on that side of the camera.
Yes.
Telling people what to do.
Exactly, because when we come back to me, you'll see we're actually looking at that part of the set over there.
I know, it's quite inceptional.
Don't you love a TV studio? There's bits of sets everywhere.
That's it.
And the one thing you're looking at is the only thing you get to see.
Yeah. So, so there were a couple of the productions. I think there's another photo we've got there coming up. This was, great, Natasha. She's she's been in amazing productions, Natasha. But this was The Art of Reconciliation, which was we have a lot of collaborations. So this is a local council that wanted us to make a documentary on non-Aboriginal artists painting Aboriginal people in the local community.
Right.
And that was a real, so we talked about what their thoughts and feelings were on reconciliation, why they were doing that process. So we followed them throughout this thing. And I'm so proud of how this turned out. It's a tearjerker. The feeling of how we come together. And this was done a couple of years ago and it still resonates now.
Well, this is why community television has been so important to hang on to.
Because of those stories.
It has.
Yeah. And I got to, went out to Port Pirie to film a creatives conference, and Gail Marbo was speaking. We interviewed her, and I was directing her in a way, I guess, and interviewing her and putting the sound gear on her and everything. And we just struck up such a beautiful friendship. And then she gave me the book about her dad, Eddie Marbo, and she signed it to me, and it was the most heartfelt thing, and that's why I look so happy in giving her a great big hug. It was just such a beautiful experience, so yeah.
Now,
because it is the people that you meet.
Hang on, we won't talk about this just yet.
Oh.
We won't talk about the other side of Albert. There's just a little teaser.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because we're going to come back after the break and talk about exactly that. Just before the break, we saw another side of Albert. Albert, this is a very interesting side of you. When did you start running and who was chasing you?
There's always someone chasing me. So I think I was just about to turn 50 and I decided...
What's it like being that old, Albert?
You forget, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I've always loved my sports, and I ran a little bit when I was in high school, but not much. And for some reason I thought, well, I can't go back to competitive sports. I wanted to get fit again, because I used to be a dancer, and I loved the physical aspect of that, and I couldn't do that. And I thought, oh, why not try running? And so I ended up with fell into a local running group, In Sync Athletics.
Look at those legs.
Oh,
not yours, the other fella.
No, I know. That was one of a few races that I got to win. I found a bit of a weird knack for it. I just found I do sprinting, so it's anything from 60 metres to a 400 metre.
And just run fast.
Just run fast. That's all it is.
But there must be a technique to that in breathing and...
It's all about the technique. I did so many injuries in the first 18 months. I pulled 6 hamstrings, 2 Achilles
You
heels.
only get 2.
I know, but I pulled them more than once. But you learn from those mistakes because you've got to really fine-tune the body. And when you're older...
And warm up properly.
And conditioning.
Yeah.
Your body's going, hang on, we haven't done this.
What happened?
What's going on? What are you making that muscle do that? I didn't think it existed. So that's what the journey was. But since then, amazing supportive group around me, and they're all of different
Are
ages.
these local from
all local?
Wollonga?
Yeah. Local in Adelaide, and they range from 40s to in their 70s, 80s, and yeah, I've got to learn a lot about my techniques and
Look
winning.
at you here.
So that was this year. I got to compete in the
I like
Nationals.
the Olympic stand, by the way.
Yes, well, that was the Nationals Masters, and I got silver medal for 400 metre, and the guy that beat me was an ex-Olympian. And
how dare you?
I know, and my running time ended up being 3rd in the world for that that distance for my age group.
Congratulations.
For this season, so I was quite surprised at
It's
that.
amazing what you can push your body to do when you've just got the right, the right drive, I'm going to do this.
Going to do it, discipline, guidance, and it helps you with the rest of your life because you have that framework, discipline. You have to eat healthy and look after your body, and you've got more energy, and you just feed off that adrenaline.
And life is better.
And life is better, yeah. And and I won the best athlete of the year at the club, so as well. So I've had had a pretty good year.
It's such a diverse lifestyle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You kind of, I think I learnt that from when getting into the industry, you do it to survive because you've got to make a living, and you have to have so many irons and so many fires. And then when I had kids at a young age, I was doing it to literally not just me survive, but keep kids alive.
Of course.
And then that's after a while. That's the only skills you've got is being able to pivot and be versatile. And if someone says, "Can you do that?" you go, "Yes, of course I can." Yeah. And then quietly go, "Shit, how am I going to do this?" And quickly work out how to do it.
But isn't that the truth in life?
Yeah.
If you don't say yes to most things, you'll never know whether you can do it or not.
That's it.
That's my belief in life. Say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And then
figure it out.
Plough your way through it.
Well, they say, make it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fake it till you make
That's it, yeah.
But just getting back now to community television, how important do you think community television is to our communities? At the moment, it's only in Adelaide and in Melbourne, but the incentive as to what else you've done.
Well, I guess now that we've got the CTV Plus platform, we're reaching online nationally, but it's what people don't see behind the scenes. Yes, it is there as a platform for new content creators to show their stuff to people, and the bigger broadcasters do look on community platforms to see, who's up and coming, but it's actually encouraging those content creators to make stuff.
Sorry, I just thought when you said, who's up and coming, and then I thought, and who's old and going?
Who's old and going? They're looking out for you. Your time will come, I'm sure, Malcolm.
For what?
But it is there, it encourages those people that are coming in with ideas to go, well, getting to a bigger broadcaster is a massive road, big hurdles. But coming to community TV and the community media platform as a whole,
in each.
And it's local, and those little local stories that you just don't hear. And you can't see them on any other network or platform.
That's right.
And you've told 500 odd stories of other people that you wouldn't have seen.
Even more, actually. We reckon we've interviewed, in the time of the program, we reckon we've interviewed about 1,700 people. Because we used to talk to 2 or more groups on this program. But this sort of long form interview gives you a chance to really understand a person.
That's it.
And we used to talk a lot more about government things where you could get a pension, something or other, or insurance or whatever.
It's informative.
But what I love is the fact that we can talk like we've talked for the last half hour and find out a bit more about you that we would never hear in a short burst.
No. And I think you probably don't even know the effect that those 1,700 stories have had on people in the community.
Absolutely,
You don't know. You only have the immediate response. But
if I'm interested, I figure everybody else is, because I think I'm normal.
Well, that's debatable, you know that.
Yes, well, on that note, Albert, thank you so much. Go back to running the station, and until next time on Our Time, when we might talk to him another time, keep yourself nice till next time we see you. Thanks for joining us. Bye.